Oh, who would have thought that grandmothers would be made chefs at the restaurant he was just about to open? However, these grandmothers seem very enthusiastic about participating in the selection to become chefs at this restaurant. This person is Joy, an ambitious man who suddenly wants to open a restaurant but employs grandmothers as chefs. Since childhood, Joy has really loved food. Even when his mother asked him to buy bread, Joy would finish it before getting home. Joy's interest in culinary arts was certainly passed down from his grandmother and mother. Every day, Joy was always cooked delicious food, and his grandmother mentioned that whatever we eat is a form of love expression from the family. However, 40 years later, all the dishes from his mother have only become memories. Because her mother passed away following her grandmother who had long passed away. Currently, only Bruno, her friend, is always there for Joy because they have been neighbors and friends for a long time. Joy tries to cook her grandmother's and mother's dishes to feel the love, but unfortunately, Joy cannot cook with the same taste. As a result, Joy brings the food to Bruno's house and invites them to eat together. At least Joy can still feel the presence of love from his friend. Since his mother passed away, this man's life feels lonely and empty. Every day he only works and goes home. Occasionally, Joy visits his mother's friend who now lives in a nursing home. It turns out that Joy has received news that his mother had written a final letter before she died, but Joy doesn't want to open it right away. Or when Joy exchanged thoughts with their friend, they advised Joy to reorganize her life and start something new. Finally, Joy tried to return to an island where her grandmother often took her when she was a child. It was in this market that Joy's mother and grandmother often bought ingredients for cooking at their home. Coincidentally, Joy also met her childhood friend Olivia here. It turned out Olivia was also accompanying an old grandmother who lived alone next to her house. Because they didn't have much time, they had to part ways, but when Joy went home, she saw a restaurant building for sale. Then after returning from the island, Joy told her two friends something surprising. She had bought a restaurant she had just seen and would open a new restaurant using her mother's insurance money. This man suddenly bought a used restaurant, and when Joy showed it to her friends, they seemed quite shocked to see the place's condition like an abandoned warehouse. Joy casually said that he would rebuild this place and hoped Bruno could help him because Bruno happened to be a contractor. Bruno initially thought Joy was crazy for wanting to open a restaurant suddenly without a plan, but in the end, a friend will surely help each other. However, when they started the work, it seemed that some warlocks did not like their plan. When Joy visited the local market here, one of the vendors said that they did not like Joy opening a restaurant in that place because previously it was a sacred restaurant for the island's residents. But now Joy is remodeling it. But of course, Joy does not care and will continue with the plan. Then, to open a restaurant, of course, they need a chef. And Joy's other crazy idea is to make grandmothers who are good at cooking into chefs, and one of her choices is her mother's friend who lives in a nursing home. Joy's childhood friend also invited a grandmother neighbor. Joy also didn't forget to post job openings for grandmothers on an online site. And it turns out there is one grandmother who is interested and wants to apply at this restaurant. After there are 3 grandmothers who will be potential chefs, Joy then allows them to cook their family's signature dishes. Joy intentionally wanted to employ grandmothers to bring homemade dishes made with love by grandmothers to her restaurant. After the trial dishes were ready and Joy tasted them, it turned out they were incredibly delicious and Joy decided to accept them all. However, since none of the grandmothers she accepted could make desserts, Joy's partner suggested that Joy look for a grandmother who could make desserts. And she remembered one of her mother's friends who could make desserts and tried to invite her. The grandmothers who would be chefs at this restaurant gathered, and the last person to arrive was Gia, whose grandmother would become the specialist chef and the mainstay at this restaurant, while the other grandmothers would be allowed to make the sauces that would be the restaurant's specialty. Then Grandma Gia would taste the sauces they made. After trying, she was truly amazed because all the sauces made were very delicious, so they will rotate and change the sauces every week. But Grandma Roberta and Antonella ended up arguing because they both wanted their sauce to be served during the opening week. They even insulted each other's hometowns and ended up fighting, causing the oven to catch fire. Fortunately, the firefighters arrived quickly, but Joy might be in trouble because the inspector will come soon, and if the inspector sees the kitchen on fire, of course, their restaurant will not be granted permission to open. Even though Joy and her friend tried to clean up the place quickly, their time was not enough, so when the inspector came, of course, course, the results they got did not meet expectations. This time they did not pass the eligibility test because of the fire damage, and they have to reapply next year. Bruno, who had helped Joy open this place, was very angry after finding out the place had burned down and Joy did not inform him.
An argument between them was unavoidable.